Golang is a language that was created by a handful of developers at Google, mostly because the languages that they used then were actually created after the concept of multi-threading came in. So the languages like Java and C and C++ and Python, they kind of patched in multi-threading after the concept of multi-threading came in. So these guys wanted some language that inherently had this capacity. So and people are widely adopting it because mostly because of its concurrency stuff. Why Golang? The most striking feature of this language is its simplicity. Because it took me only 15 minutes to get the hang of everything, and I could code from the next minute. And community support, I don't think this is a feature anymore because most languages that are coming up has this. And concurrency, yeah, that's this language was it was actually founded because of concurrency. This has an inbuilt capacity for concurrency, and that too with lesser cost compared to the languages that they use there. And standalone binary. So every package, every dependency that you use in Go, it kind of gets packaged in your executable file. You don't have to use any DLL file or libraries on runtime. So these are some striking features of Golang, and it's a strongly typed language, and so there won't be any confusion if you are coming from C, C++, Java, or other languages. Yeah. So let's start off with a simple hello world program. Okay. Yeah, just create this. I'll be using.
First of all, to start with a beginner, what are things I have to download?
Yeah. They have their development environment packaged. You just have to download this and install this in your devices. If you're going for the default download instructions, then things are going to be easy for you. If you want to install it in a different folder, you might consider adding environment variables so that you can use Go on command line. Alright, so they have like packages for every operating system. So that's pretty straightforward. Right. So shall I proceed? So
once again, we have to download this IDE.
Yeah.
And Go comes with that, right? So
is it an IDE or runtime?
Actually, it's a.
This is the only download available.
Yeah, it's the only download you need to have to get started with that. It's not an IDE. It's runtime. Okay, right. So that's it. You just go to golang.org and download this. So I have this downloaded and installed on my device. So let's try and write a simple hello world program.
What about console application?
Sorry?
Console application.
Console application.
Command prompt. How will you work with the Golang from command prompt?
Yeah, I'll show you. So need to have a package name. So I'll be package.
Can you use the font size?
I'll just magnify this. Okay, package and so this is pretty straightforward, right? We have a package name and an entry point function. We have this in most of the other programming languages, I guess. At least the ones I have worked with. So this is. Maybe I'll explain about package later on in the session. So we have an entry point function and we have a package. So let me just print hello world.
Basically, why we need Go when we have thousands of other languages?
Yeah, that's what I told. It's basically about concurrency. I was hired to rewrite an API handler which was written in PHP.
Okay.
Okay, and I could clearly see the bar going down. Before it was consuming lots of resources, and I could see and I could easily implement concurrency in this, and I could see the graph going down, the resource consumption going down really. So that was the only project I worked on Go.
Okay.
Is this only for control applications or does it support GUI?
Yeah, any application. So yeah, it's what I made is a web app using Go. I don't know whether it can be used for other purposes. Even I am a beginner, so I'll be talking about what I have worked so far. So I just print hello world.
It's a compiled language, right?
Yeah.
Compiled.
So the way we run an application is just type in Go run and specify the file name. So the file name here is main.go. Yeah, main.go is file name. So just yeah, we have hello world. Yeah. Right. And there are lots of other ways. There are lots of ways to define variables. You can either have for or
So is it statically typed?
yes. So message is equal to the word. I just send the message. Yeah. So this is one way to define a variable. You have to specify that you are going to define a variable by by the keyword var, and then followed by the identifier, and then you can specify the type name explicitly after that, or you can just ask and leave it to go, and okay. There is yet another way for doing this. You can just remove everything. Just have this, and I hope this works. Yeah. So this is what I used. So you just can have a colon followed by an equal to symbol and leave everything to go, and Go will do the rest. Right. And you can have this in another function. I just create another function called printer. Print out the message for us. Call the function by specifying its name. Message. Okay, this works. So you can even pass in message as a parameter. So if you remember the way we defined a variable, the type was given after the identifier name. So that's a convention Go follows. So every time, no, that's I'll show that in a moment. So function print, and this is going to accept a string. So this is how it works. Every time, it's it's a convention that Go follows. It's identifier followed by the type, not the other way around. So I just print MSD here. Yeah.
Could you please make an error?
This is
There. Oh.
Run it.
Because of your head, I am not seeing it. No.
Can you use var there instead of string?
Yeah.
Instead of string?
Instead of string,
the
Parallel.
no, I haven't tried that.
We'll try it.
Try with what? Actually, war is just a keyword kind of thing, you know. Yeah, we'll get to know more about that when we use struct and something.
No, or is not optional, right? That's
War is optional. Okay, it's just we're just saying that we're gonna define or no, we're gonna initialize a variable. So we just
in this case, message is not available.
actually
So
it's
what
a
is the difference
parameter.
between message and var message?
Actually,
Same.
we don't
Same.
see. But
Instead of string,
while initializing,
There is keyword.
while initializing, we have to specify var. Just to say that just to mention that we are initializing a variable. That's it.
Got it.
Right. String. And if this is returning anything, you should specify the return type after the it's just follow the convention. So we have the identifier name as printer. If it is returning anything, you just have to specify the return type after the identifier name. So if this is going to return anything, let's say if this is going to return anything, you just have to specify the return type after the identifier name. Right. So are we good to go? Yes.
Yeah.
So far as
Okay.
Why it is showing an error?
And this is not returning anything. It will definitely show an error.
Guys, let us make this an interactive event, okay? Whatever questions, be it stupid or what, just shoot. That's how our KMG events work. We don't fear anything here. I remind you this because we have many new faces today.
Packages. The installer I showed you. Yeah, this installer. Yeah. It comes with some built-in packages, and and these packages that we use gets packaged with the executable file that we generate. So these are some packages that usually within the standard library, which usually comes with the Go installer. So we can just either use these packages, or if we need other packages, third-party packages, we can just use command line for that. Alright, so basically, what a package does is it kind of wraps every file. Okay, I'll just show you now. I'll just create a new file. Say test. I'm just going to keep the printer function here, and I'm going to specify the package name to be same as the previous one, package main. So these two files, though they are different files, they lie in the same package. So I hope I can do this. So I have to package this. I have to build this. So I'm just going to use Go build. Yeah, meetup.exe. Just run this. this is how package works. If you are from C++, you can kind of relate this to namespace. Not exactly namespace, but yeah. So, so this is basically a package, and the good thing about packages are, you can call. If you know the package name, you can call these methods from outside. So you can, which means you can have more than one package.
Excuse me, please increase the font size. Increase.
Yeah. Okay. So what I did was I created another file in the same folder and used the same package name. And once I got the executable file, I can access this function from this file. So we can have more than one package. The package main gets executed first. So if you have another package, if you have some other packages, you should import those packages from main. So I'll just import a built-in package. So this is FMT. So FMT is a package for formatted input and output. So just print on the page. You can access methods from FMT packages. You just specify the package name and code. Every package. These are actually structures. So I'll just call this method because that's what I'm comfortable with. So you can just specify the package name. So we have already imported the package, and one thing I love about this Visual Studio Code is if you just specify the package name and press a dot, every structures that it just kind of pops up.
So did you install any extension for VS Code to understand? The
Yeah, actually, that's first you install, first you run Go package. Visual Studio asks you to install some packages. So and actually Visual Studio will do it for you.
Okay.
So just run this. Yeah, hello world. Alright, you can have a variable. One second. Need this string.
So here we are using Go command to execute, right?
Yes.
So is there a standalone executions concept?
Yeah, actually, once you package this into an executable file, you can just
Okay, it becomes binary.
binary.
Okay.
Just one question. You mentioned that package can be referred between the files. So does all the package has an extension of exe, or they have some other extension?
You can get.
You mean some DLL concept?
Yeah.
I can't find the packages now. I'll just get back to you.
Yeah, no problem.
Can we compare this to Java or .NET?
Oh God, I haven't used neither.
Or you compare with PHP?
PHP, yeah. Yeah, this can be used for creating websites, covering backends. So what I used MongoDB and Go for backend. If you are talking about performance, this is way better than PHP
Okay.
and lesser code. Alright, so I'll just print.
When we host a website, will we be uploading the compiled files or the source code itself?
Actually, I use the virtual machine.
Okay, so usually in PHP we put PHP as it is, right?
No, that
It
kind
is
of.
interpreted.
Yeah, that kind of.
Okay.
It's not possible. I use the virtual machine on Azure.
Okay.
I hope this works.
Yes, clear.
Yeah. So I have a formatted output here. I just imported a package called FMP. And yeah. So also you can have third-party packages. So I'll be showing you. There is a package I used called I think it was Gorilla Mux. You just have to use go get and followed by the URL. .com/gorilla/mux. I think it was. Doesn't work like that. Yeah, it will. So you can now import the package by just specifying the entire thing you wrote on the go get command, and you can use Mux now.
Is there any package or repository for Go, just like New?
Yeah. Something a set of packages come pre-installed. So once you download and install them, there are the FMT package. I didn't download that. It came pre-packed with Go. So there are some standard library. So these packages can be used without downloading, and people host their own packages in their private or public repos. You can use that by using the go get command. Yeah. I think I'll just quickly show you how I set up our web server here. So,
Is semicolon allowed?
yeah.
I was just wondering how we will combine multiple statements in single line.
Yeah. Actually, since I come from Node.js,
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's removed. Right?
I know
Yeah,
that's,
in most of in
Did it control set or?
I just try to save it. So, these are the stuff that Visual Studio do. This package called HTTP net/HTTP. So what this basically does is it starts a server for us. So just
Is it the font size? But it will go to settings and include font size.
yeah. I'll just So create a simple server. You can just have HTTP dot. I think it was serve and listen. Listen and serve. And you can specify the port ID here. And there is a handle. So I have specified the handle to be nil. Actually, the second parameter is a router. So that's why I used Gorilla Mux. I've downloaded this. I usually use Gorilla Mux to render me this, to to create a router. So since I'm not using
What is Gorilla?
Gorilla Mux, it's a router package. So
Okay, again Go package.
it's a Go package. Yeah, actually I downloaded this to show how we can get a Go package that's not hosted in the library. So I just got those files. I just got the package from github.com/gorilla/mux. So and you can access that file. When you import, you should specify the entire path. So it's going to be GitHub. Yeah, GitHub/gorilla/mux. So that's how you import it. I forgot how we. I don't think you guys are interested in this. Okay, I'll just show you this code. What I did is I downloaded Gorilla Mux. In the earlier file, I left this to be a nib, right? So if I don't have a router, I can't specify the way the particular route has to be accessed. Maybe I have to send a GET request or a POST request into this. So basically, we use a MUX for that. Or if you just want to display a static site, you can just keep it as nil. Alright, so router, I just created a new instance from router, and I want every URL to be prepended by a slash. I want everything to end with a slash, so that's what I did. I just created a handle function for that. Let me just run this. Hope this works. Run. Go. Please bear with me. Yeah, I think this worked. Okay, yeah, this worked. Just go to my documents. Yeah. That was my HTML file. It was just a simple hello world. So that's why I use a MUX for MUX. So I didn't want to show you that, but it's just what I was trying to demonstrate is how you get a package from any resource other than the standard library. Just have to use the go get command. Alright. Struct and interfaces. So struct can be thought of as yeah, it's I'm running out of time. I just quickly finish this. So this is basically a struct. So it can be since it is not an object-oriented language. It kind of tries to mimic object-oriented capabilities by using struct. It's pretty much similar to the struct we know. So this is how we define a struct, and you can. So okay, similar to the. Similar to variable declaration, in variable declaration we told Go that we're gonna define a variable by typing in var. So similar to that, we're gonna tell Go that we are going to use a custom type. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna specify a keyword called type, and after that we're gonna specify what type is it going to be. Now we created a variable like this, right? Maybe string. So this is pretty much similar to that. This is why we actually use war. Just to tell them that a variable is coming in. Just be prepared to handle that. So that's how we use. That's how we create a struct. And yeah, instance of a struct can be created as this. So yeah, if you might remember, this is how we define a variable of a particular type. If we no, this is an easier way for defining variable of a particular type. We give the job to Go, and Go does the job. That's it. So and we can have a function that accepts. So we can access individual elements as if you just type in tom.age and tom.name, it will return that elements of the person that we have created right now. Right. So I'll just wind up here. So I think I'm running out of time. So
That's fine. Any questions? Sure.
So the compiled version of this is going to be in exe.
yes.
You cannot run on a Linux machine.
Yes. Yeah. If you run on Linux, then that's
You can get. So you have to run compile it on a Linux machine.
yeah, on a Linux machine. So the virtual machine I used was CentOS. So when I typed in go build, it returned a package for that, and
So you can run on Windows and create a package for Linux. Is that good?
no, I haven't tried that.
Some
Maybe possible.
build commands or some
Yeah.
will be there. Something will builder will be.
There is,
Most of the languages is
As that. That's right.
anything else?
So Visual Studio is the ID we are using. Any other ID we are
You can use any ID. Just I'm just using this for my convenience. No, the first time I wrote a Go. First time I wrote some code on Go. Visual Studio actually downloaded the package, downloaded some extensions. It asked me whether you want such packages. It was like 6 packages, and if I have used any other IDs, I had to look back to the documentation now and then. So this Visual Studio really helps me in that. I have to just have to wait for the suggestions, and also in those suggestions they specify what all this particular structure is going to accept and what it returns. So I don't have to look back documentation now and then. So that's why I use.
So I have one more question. It's a very basic question. It might be my answer. Compared to Praveen asked, compared to other language, what is the best thing you see here? You see here.
No, rather than the concurrency you talked about. No. We talked about that. I agree that. But how you see an importance or how you see a difference over there?
See, once I told you the only project I worked on with Go was.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So it was actually written in PHP, and this guy hired me to write this in Node.js.
Okay.
And I couldn't see any difference. Actually, Node is supposed to be having a better performance, but I can't see any difference.
Okay.
But once I used this Go, and the number of lines compared to Node.js, it's really low.
Okay.
That's,
Got it.
so
Can we start from where Go, or should we install any utilities or additional packages for Go?
actually it comes with the installer. You don't have to.
You need a lot of, for example, use ReSharper for Visual Studio, some other kind of.
I haven't. So this environment is, I didn't have to download anything.
Okay, you got only made from the
Made
file
package,
and you
that's
started
it.
from the web.
And you might want to add some environment variables to get this working. So,
Can you run this in command line?
just doing this in command line.
You can use command, both are same.
How did you analyze the performance of
Azure does that for you. Just have to look at the graph. So, can I? Right, thank you. You did a idea on this.